So I'm now joined by world-renowned economist Jeffrey Sachs. He's an economist with the Columbia University. Thank you very much, Professor Sachs, for speaking with us. I want to first start with the India question because obviously there's a lot of interest around the Trump tariffs, the secondary tariffs on oil for purchasing Russian oil. Why do you think Trump has done that? Because India is not even the largest purchaser of Russian oil. Why is India getting punished?
Trump is not a very logical person and not a very strategic person. And so he does things impulsively. He thought that India would immediately agree to the demands that he made, that India would state, we will not buy Russian oil, and so forth. So this was a threat. India rightly did not succumb to the threat. It was not a well thought out strategy. Very little that Trump does is a well thought out strategy. What it has done, though, is to alert India to something that I've been saying for a long time, which is that India should not trust the United States as its main partner. India, of course, needs its independent foreign policy, and it should look with some care at statements and commitments by the United States. It was thought in India by some that India would become the close economic partner that would replace China's trade. I said that was naive. The United States is not going to accept large exports from India any more than it did from China. This is not my view of what the U.S. should do. It was my prediction of what the U.S. would do. So I warned against relying on the goodwill of the U.S. or thinking that India had some inside track on a good trade deal. I always thought that was an illusion. India also, at least some people thought, well, India should strategically align with the United States against China. I said that is absolutely the wrong approach. I am not a fan of the Quad. I'm not a fan of any idea that India looks to the U.S. In a security arrangement. It doesn't work. It won't work. And I think what Trump has done is to make clear, very clear, unfortunately clear, the points that I've been saying. The U.S. is not a reliable partner, especially under Trump, but I would say generally.
But Professor Sachs, I want to go back to the oil question, because if it is a question of principle, if there is even half an argument, logically speaking, that, look, by purchasing Russian oil or Russian gas, you're funding Putin's war machine. Look at China. China is the largest purchaser of Russian oil in the last 2.5 years. China has purchased $158 billion of Russian crude. India, on the other hand, has purchased $119 billion of Russian crude. So if it's about punishing those countries that are enabling Putin's war machine, why hasn't Trump imposed the same sanctions or the same tariffs on China?
Well, he tried to punish China, and China retaliated immediately. And it cut off exports of rare earths and rare earth magnets and other components vital for U.S. industry. And the United States backed down. You used the word principle. If it's a matter of principle, you said. This is not a matter of principle. This is a matter of threats. This is a matter of bluffing. This is a matter of what Trump decides to do impulsively, what he thinks he can get away with, who he thinks he can scare into submission. So if you're looking for consistency, you're certainly looking in the wrong place. It's not going to come from the U.S.